And when I woke up today, we were world champions. Hi guys, this is Farad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And before I get to my main review, I would like to congratulate everyone for India has lifted the T20 trophy for the second time after 17 years, an ICC trophy after 11 years, and finally the drought has been broken. And I would like to also extend a heartfelt thanks to Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, and Virat Kohli, all of whom are retiring from the sport. So Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are retiring from the T20 internationals. Rahul Dravid was the last assignment. Thank you so much for all the memories that were there. And with that, let's get back to business. So before the match that was there was the T20 final yesterday. Before the match, I got to watch the much anticipated Telugu film, which was Kalki 2898 AD, and I, had mixed feelings going into the film. This was because the trailer of it didn't reveal too much of the details that were there, and it made me believe that this could go either way. It could absolutely be a landmark in Indian cinema, or it could head the Adi Purush way. And I'm glad that it is a landmark in Indian cinema. It is a wonderful film at the end of the day. It is not a perfect film by any sense of imagination, but it is still a benchmark in many ways in what is the Kalki cinematic universe. Now, I am a sucker for the stories that emerge from mythology. There's so many stories that can be linked with the current setup that are there, and you get to learn so much from the mythology that is there. And in that regard, Kalki 2898 AD, I think, does a wonderful job also. It is essentially a story of Bhairava, who's, absolutely bored of being a simple bounty hunter, and he wants to lead a comfortable life in with a unit called the Complex. But he finds himself in the middle of a conflict which is between the Complex and the set of rebels that are there. Now, the story here is only the first part in the Kalki cinematic universe, and it has a lot to offer when it draws references from the epic Mahabharata. Now, Kalki, as you would know, is the 10th avatar of Lord Vishnu, and that is the crux of the story right there. It actually tells you the story of a reincarnation in a futuristic dystopian world of Lord Vishnu, and how the characters around him are linked to mythology in many ways. And the story here absolutely does make for a commendable watch, I would say. It's not a perfect story, as I said, but it is commendable in many ways. Now, I'll come straight up to the drawbacks that are there. Now, drawbacks, most of them are essentially from the first hour that are there. After a terrific start in which you get a little context tracing from the Mahabharata, the Battle of Kurukshetra, you are introduced to the world that are there and the dynamics and the politics that are underlying in the themes of the dystopian world, so to say. And those levels of politics you can easily relate with today's times as well. So nothing much may have changed if it's the futuristic dystopian world, but yeah, there is still hope, in the form of Bhairava and the rest of the characters that are there. But where the film actually falters is in trying to have comedic sequences that are there. The comedic sequences here just were out of place. I mean, it just wasn't required in a sci-fi film. It was more of a fan service more than anything else, and it actually did not contribute much to the overall screenplay apart from adding a few minutes to the already whooping runtime of 3 hours that were there. Now, Prabhas also, his entry was a little weak, and I'll get to that when I, review his performance that is there. But the story really picks up, when it intends to get into the serious mode while drawing parallels with the Mahabharata. The entire sequence of a character who's pregnant escaping from the complex to how it leads to a sterling interval block only for a chase sequence to ensue. That is when the story really kicks off, and the second half, I must say, majorly belongs to an 82-year-old actor called Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and he is absolutely fabulous, doing most of the heavy lifting in the second hour of the film. And the second hour of the film is also special because it draws parallels with the Mahabharata in many ways, and it sets up the context for the second part in the Kalki cinematic universe towards the end, and that is where this film really ascends. It's a fascinating second hour that is there, and if you actually do read about a lot of mythology things or are interested, you will actually love the second hour that is there. Even Shamshala that was there, the spiritual kingdom, which is set in the Himalayas, I think that also had a significance in the film. Sumti, a character namesake who has a namesake here and also has a namesake from the Mahabharata, who had given birth to a child who was who was the devotee of Lord Vishnu, also has a significance here. So there are traces from the Mahabharata that you will really enjoy if you enjoy mythology and if you enjoy the integration of mythology in current or futuristic times that are there. Coming to the the technical details, the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I felt the dialogues are good when they intend to have references from the Mahabharata. But when they intend to be funny, that is when the drama really slips. The music goes well with the context of the film that is there. The BGM is really good as well. I also like the cinematography. Now, it is easy to pull down a film like Kalki saying, oh, it's being inspired from this scene, or it's been taken from there, but you have to also give it to the originality of the filmmaker that is there, Nag Ashwin. He did a wonderful job, in actually having an originality of integrating the references of the Mahabharata in a futuristic tale, and that is where the originality of Kalki kicks in. The sequences of Mahabharata that was shot, although with VFX weren't bad at all, by the way, even though you can see it's a green screen, but it wasn't bad given the vision of the filmmaker. And I think that is where I think Kalki also prospers, and Kalki 2898 AD does make for a fascinating watch on the big screen. Even the direction is excellent with some good characterization that is incorporated again with references to the Mahabharata. Now, coming to the performances, I felt performances are absolutely fabulous. Kamal Hassan here just needed two scenes to create a sterling impact, and he's such a fascinating character. I think Disha Patni looked very pretty, but I wasn't sure of her existence in this universe as to what she brought to the table. Probably we may know in the futuristic films that are there in this universe. Deepika, I think she did a wonderful job as well, very well restrained and did a wonderful job. Malayalam's actors also that were there, Anna Ben, she stood out like a dream in this ensemble cast, with a charming presence, and she also had a nice little comeback scene that was there, and I think she did a fascinating job. Even Shobna, legendary actors like Shobna and Rajendra Prasad, I think they did a wonderful job. Even Pasupati, he was wonderful to watch as well. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, whatever I say is going to be less than what is my words are going to justify his performance. He was absolutely brilliant to the core and did a wonderful job. A lot of heavy lifting that he did. Saswata Chatterjee also did a wonderful job. Anil George also made a good impression. This brings me to Prabhas. Prabhas was probably the weakest link, unfortunately, in the film yet again. I mean, I liked him. It wasn't a total train wreck of a performance. I liked him towards the end of the film, when he takes the shape of a character from the Mahabharata. I won't reveal which character it is, but I think that is where he came into his being. But the first half with his comic punches were absolutely, a washout. And I happened to watch the Hindi dubbed version because I wasn't sure of the subtitles with the Telugu one. So the Hindi one had him dubbed, and I think it just lacked the dialogue delivery that, say, a Sharat Kelkar would have when he would dub for Prabhas's voice. So I think there were demerits to the performance of Prabhas as well, but then it was fan service at the end of the day. His entry also was quite weak, the build up was so good, but the entry and the action sequence that followed just was flat. But overall, Kalki 2898 AD still makes for a fascinating dystopian world that traces its roots to the references of the Mahabharata, and it still makes for a fascinating watch. I'm actually happy that, a filmmaker is trying to, extract stories from a homeland and integrate it in a futuristic world, and I think that makes for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful watch, and I highly recommend that you watch it on the big screen for the biggest impact possible. Yes, it's not a perfect film by any stretch of imagination, but at the end of the day it still makes an impact with the kind of story that it wishes to tell. And that was it, guys. Let me know your thoughts on what did you make of the film Kalki 2898 AD in the comments. Also, if you're liking the video, please smash that like button. Liking and commenting will help fuel the algorithm. So please, like and comment on the video. It will help fuel the YouTube algorithm that is there. What's more, you can also share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that we are actually exchanging experiences in the comments, and that is something that I really look forward to. If you would also like to read my full review of Kalki 2898 AD on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below, do visit that as well. Also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site and on my social media handles. All details are in the description box below. And another update, I have already watched the Malayalam film Paradise as well, and my thoughts on it come out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that as well. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.